5, 4. Wait, I can't count. It's on 8. What? What? You know what? Screw it. We're just gonna get rid of the countdown, right? Because some of us are not good at counting at all. Oh, how's everyone doing? Kind of got derailed from doing some work today, which I don't know. I guess I'm not too upset about. But I'm going to instead do a little bit of painting. I've not been streaming this week. I ended, I usually stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think I might have streamed Tuesday. I don't know. But I ended up painting a good bit on Wednesday. It was just like I didn't stream, but I just sat down and started painting, and wasn't planning to paint that long, but ended up painting a long time. So I should have streamed on Wednesday, but yeah, I ended up painting a long time on Wednesday, but kind of overdid it, and my eyes were really sore, and so I couldn't come right back and paint the next day on Thursday. So I haven't been around much this week, so I thought, you know what, I'll just stream Saturday afternoon, see what happens. I don't know if anybody will be around because it's a Saturday. I'm usually streaming on the weeknight, so who knows? We'll see what happens. So we're getting some painting done, hanging out with you guys. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. So what are we doing today? I think we're going to work on the good Commissioner Gordon. This is for Batman Gotham City Batman Gotham Under Siege that I'm painting. What up, GGF? Hope you're having a good Saturday. See, I did all of this on Wednesday. I finished the Officer Montoya side of this. Now I just got to do the Commissioner, and got to paint his base and everything too. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. I'll show you what I did on Wednesday. Catwoman, Batgirl, and Batman are all finished, all three of them. So now we just got to finish these other two minis, and we're ready to play some Batman with styling figures. All right. So I've already kind of picked out the paints I want to use for this guy. Really easy reference material for me in this because the game comes with cards, so you can kind of see what I've got to do here. I got to paint his coat, his shirt, his tie, pants, and then his boots there. So let's get started. I'm gonna start with the feet and work my way up. So I've got brown leather here we're gonna use for the feet. And put this in my wet palette. Just see what I'm doing. And since I've done all my intro chitter chatter, let's get some music going, shall we? Couple little brown things. I gotta put the stunner shades on. Little figurine holder here. Yep, all I gotta do is Commissioner Gordon here and then Robin. And we done. I've only been working on this, I think I started last weekend, so it's taking me about a week to get these guys done. Pretty fast for me. But I've been painting more than just my normal 2 nights of painting. Yeah, sometimes I get rolling on a project. It's like I want to, something small, a small project like this is like I might paint a little more than twice a week to get it done because it's fun to get them done, you know. Didn't really mess with watering the paint down for his shoes because I wanted them to be, kind of one coat and done on the shoes. Probably will thin it down a little bit to do his jacket here. This is a little tricky trying to get the brush in here around the figures. Honestly, I would have rather them just giving me two separate figures than put them both on one base like this. Makes it kind of difficult to work around them all. Hopefully, I don't end up with brown paint all over my blue police officer who's standing right next to him. But no promises. Kind of already looked ahead of time earlier this week at like what paints I wanted to use for him and have set them all out already, so be able to just roll right through. There's one foot already done. Pew, pew. GGF in his house. No, I might could have played airsoft today because I was kind of foiled with what I was trying to do for work. But I guess it's not such a bad thing. Commissioner Gordon's brown shoes. Yeah, yeah. Oopsie whoopsie. Foiled by the GGF once again. Or evil plot. Yeah, probably be a quiet afternoon or day of painting today. Some of the other guys that normally hang out in here are playing airsoft today. And then my boy, the 3D printing guy, is like out and about doing stuff right now too. So, and he's also live streaming at the moment too. So, yeah, I didn't really water the paint down for his shoes because it's like, right next to the base. I don't want to I have to go do a bunch of coats. Just wanted to, risk. The more coats I'm doing, the more I'm risking getting brown paint in places I don't want brown paint. So, just do one coat. Don't really water it down. One and done. And I will thin out some more of the body that's going to be in the scene a little bit better. And we got Robin to do after this. Probably won't get to that today, but we'll see. He's going to take a little bit of experimenting because, like, I don't really have a green that's really exactly his coloring. So, I might have to do a little bit of figuring out for Robin. I got a few different greens. Probably mix a little bit of his shoes are done now. And I think he's going to have a little bit of this belt here. I'm going to hit it just a tiny little bit. Wearing a brown belt, of course. And this is leather brown is the name of the color I'm using, so it's pretty much perfect for a brown leather belt, right? Just dotting it in there. Perfect. Just some dots is all I did. Hit it from the bottom now too. Cool. His little belt, which you probably cannot see. And you can kind of see him, just little dots right in there. His belt is done. He's got a little dot in the middle that's going to be the belt buckle. So, light back on. Blind you as it adjusts. There you go. This is Mornfang Brown. We're going to paint his jacket that he is wearing with Mornfang Brown. Let's see how this paint goes on. I might not even thin it. Like, I want to get these things done in one coat. So what I hate about these paints is these containers are not. You have to get a dropper and they're just not good containers for trying to mix, really. That's just the way this brand does it. See how it goes on. I've painted Chewbacca with this before. The same paint, I think. And I still remember it goes on really smooth. Oh yeah, I don't need to thin this down. Just spread it out real well, and you're golden. Oh, just completed today the all the DC movies. We'll finish it up with the Flash, which I thought was great. I thought the Flash was awesome. I don't know why people ripped it so bad. Like it did not review well at all, but I thought it was awesome. For those of us that grew up in the '90s with Michael Keaton Batman, it was it's almost like a continuation of that movie. There was a lot of Michael Keaton Batman in that movie, and it was really awesome. Won't give any spoilers, but just trust me, it was a great movie. You should go see it if you haven't. Rent it or whatever. I said go see it. It's not in the theaters anymore. But I was surprised it was already on up on the apps. Like it's not been that long. It didn't stay in the theater very long. Like the movie did not do well at all. So it came to the streaming apps fairly quickly. But I can't believe I actually had not watched all of these DC movies a long time ago because they're really good and I'm a big fan of all this sort of stuff, and it's like I've been missing out big time. Yeah, a lot of my brown shades of paint that I use, like this one, like I don't even have to thin them; they go on so smooth. They get really good coverage. Fan of this Mornfang brown color. It's pretty nice looking brown. Whoop! I'm trying not to be off screen. It's like I guess you got to take my word for it because I'm painting way off camera, aren't I? They're kind of funny how they do these DC or these aren't the highest quality models. And they kind of cut corners on, like you might can see it right here. This jacket here is not like loosely hanging around, and you see a leg. You don't see a leg like the jacket's really thin, but the jacket is this whole big mass down here with a leg growing out of it. So it's not quite realistic, but for the purposes of this game, it's okay. Like I'm sure most people don't even go through the trouble of painting the minis in this game, but there's only 5 minis in this game, so I was like, well, it'll be nice to have a game completely done and not have to worry about painting anything else for it ever again. This is not something that's got expansions that they're gonna add down the road, and paint more stuff. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. This is a get her painted, get her done game. Jacket is kind of a pain. The way trying to get in there around this other figure. Alright, I think we're going to switch to small detail now. Yeah. Set that GGF, you got to watch out for her. Don't, she looks a little too closely at these things, and I know she's going to be, like, angry. She's probably going to write letters to the congressman about this, telling them that they need to do a little bit more quality control. Or, not quality control, but design higher quality stuff. Gordon! Trying to get up in those gaps. A nice streak of brown paint on his pants. See how that cleans up. Have like a lighter brown on his pants, basically. Get up in that gap without hitting the police officer. Just tricky. You see that fork in his coat? I'm trying to sneak the brush in there without hitting this police officer standing next to him. Ugh. This might be as good as I can get it. I'm getting it all over his pants. These were not really like sculpted with painting them in mind, I don't think. The way everybody's all standing all tight up in here. Okay, Batman, your friends are getting close to being done. Alright. The Bat Friends, I guess you call them. Bat Friends and Family. Oh, but yeah, I finished my DC movie marathon from the past week. Watched all of the DC movies now. So I feel like I know things pretty well. What I've also been watching on the side is on Max as well. They have a lot of these Batman animated movies, which I'd never seen any of them. So I've been kind of watching those. Most of them are about an hour. Just kind of been watching those. They're like my late night fall asleep watching them stuff. But kind of like looked at some lists that people have made online of like the best ones, because I think there's like 25 of them or something. I don't know. So I've missed a lot over the years, but I've kind of just been going down that list and starting with the best ones and watching them. And I think the best ones so far that I've liked was called Batman The Dark Knight Returns. And there's two parts, part one and part two. But of the ones I've watched, that's been my favorite. It's just totally different than any Batman I've ever seen, and it was just a really cool story. It's like it's basically I won't tell you anything more than you could just see from reading the description of the show, but it's basically years later than being normal Batman. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know this stuff existed either. Um, but years later than being normal Batman, he's old. He's like probably in his 60s or something. He's just old and he's retired, and some stuff happens that makes him decide to come out of retirement, and he's just like he's just he's old, so he's like struggling, and it was just really good, different than anything I've ever seen Batman. That's my favorite that I've watched of these animated movies so far. Um, Red Red Sun? Are you saying are you talking about Under the Red Hood? Because I watched that. That was really good. One of the Batman ones, or is this something else called Red Sun? Uh, like a Superman movie. I'd like to try to watch some of the Justice League and Superman ones too, but I'm on like a Oh, okay. Oh gosh! And there's a movie. There's a movie for this, like an animated movie. Is what you're saying, or is it like a series or something? Yeah, I'll check that out. Like I'm on a 1 week. Sorry, I'm painting off camera. I'm on a 1 week free trial of HBO Max right now, and tomorrow's I guess when I have to cancel it. But I've watched all the DC movies, and um, well, I had seen a lot of them already, but I finished it out, and I've been watching these animated Batmans as well. And okay, animated movie, yeah. Maybe I'll find that one. I've got one evening tonight. I could try to watch some more stuff, but there's so many of these DC animated movies that I'm not even going to get close to finishing all that in a week of trial. So I've been pushing, trying to watch all this stuff, and not going to finish it in a week. So I think I probably will end up subscribing to HBO Max for a month or so and watch some of this stuff, but might give it a little break. I've been watching a lot of stuff, trying to power through it and getting kind of DC universed out. So I'll probably take a little break for a month or so, and then come back to it and watch more of it. But um, there's a whole lot of Batman and DC out there that I'm not aware of. Um, yeah. I think I've liked as far as the movies. Watching live action, yeah, I think I gotta agree that the Marvel ones a little bit better than the DC ones. Um, Still good movies, enjoyed watching them, but yeah, of the two, I think Marvel is better. But these animated DC movies I've watched so far, they've been great. I want to watch more of them. There's so much stuff like that I've just not watched, and it's like it's cartoons, and so you're like, oh, cartoons, yeah, that's kid stuff, but they're really good. It's like Clone Wars and Rebels, the Star Wars stuff. I didn't watch those until maybe about a year or two before Mandalorian show came out, because they were up on Disney Plus. I was like, I never watched these, but it was just I thought they were like kids shows, and so I just never watched them when they were like originally released. Then years later, watching them was like, man, this stuff's great. I think some of the some of the best Star Wars stories are in the cartoons, and it's really cool seeing that all come to life now in live action with Ahsoka show kind of picking up where some of those left off. But man, I usually don't really watch that much TV or movies or anything, but I have just been on a marathon this past week. If I do one of these free trials for a week of a streaming service, I get my money's worth. Like, I watch the crap out of those things. But this one, I think there's so much to it. Gonna have to watch a little bit more than a week. Yeah, I probably should have thinned this paint down a little bit because it's kind of getting darker than I want in a few spots, but I don't really care. This is not like these details are not super, these aren't like the best miniatures ever. They're not super detailed, and I'm not trying to spend a lot of time on them is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm doing a good job, but I'm not trying to make them like, museum quality pieces. They're not going to go like, I have like display cases in my office where I have a lot of my minis on display. These are not going to be display pieces. They're going to go back in the box, and they're tabletop ready quality, basically. Good enough for me. Hey, I want to invest in some speed paints. I have quite a few of the Games Workshop Citadel brand paints, contrast paints, but the Army Painter brand is a lot cheaper. And speed paints basically just one coat will accomplish your shading and your God, there's a clump. You need to fix that. That was bad. That's kind of a glob of paint sitting back there, and now it just, as I touched the glob, it ballooned out. So that looks bad, but it's right on his back, kind of up against the police officer anyway. Oh, here we go. Try not to hit the officer as you go through her legs to get to the commissioner. Oh, slow. There we go. Another through the legs approach. Still have some of this blue from the police officer on my wet palette if I need to go back and touch up. But we're going to do it good enough so we don't have to, right? Hey, what's up, Rathelios? Yeah, doing good. I was saying earlier I should have streamed Wednesday because I ended up painting a lot. But I've actually finished on Wednesday Batman, Batgirl, and Catwoman here. So they done. So working on the Commissioner Gordon and then Robin next. I rolled through these guys. This was about a week. I think I started on them on Sunday last week and about got all of them done. Did you start? How are you coming on your Crisis Protocol set? I think you were working on the core set. He ended up I was just sitting down. I didn't stream on Wednesdays. I was just going to paint for a little bit, but then then painting a little bit turned into painting along a bit, and painted all three of those minis. I was like, dang, I should have streamed. But then my eyes were hurting so bad from doing that I couldn't stream on Thursday too. So come around for the weekend to paint a little bit. Ah, yeah, I know the feeling. It's tough to have all the fun we want sometimes. I'll be kind of busy this next few weeks, but it'll slow down a little bit. Coming on into November for me, so should be able to get a good bit of painting done. Got this new game called well, it's not new, but new to me. I got Blood Rage in the mail the other day. It's like a board game with minis. Vikings in fighting at the end of the world in Ragnarok. And it's a board game with a bunch of minis. They're really nice looking minis. May end up painting that, but that'll be... I want to finish all my Crisis Protocol and all of my Legion stuff before I dive into anything else. It's a really sharp looking game. Gonna play it tomorrow night for the first time. Got all the Kickstarter. I got the Kickstarter stuff, all the specials. So have a lot to it. Spent like, yeah, I may end up streaming it on here once I get it going. So I'll show it to you. But I spent like, heck, I should have streamed this yesterday. I spent like half the day yesterday just going through the box, seeing what I had, organizing it, because it's like I got a Kickstarter edition, and then it's basically got all the expansions, and it had like an organizer in it. Came with an extra organizer that like fit everything all into the one box, because it would be like, I guess, 4 boxes or something like that without that organizer. And so I just like went through my box to sort of separate out the expansions, because there's like different cards in the deck, and you don't need all the deck cards in the deck if you're not playing 5 players, or if you're not wanting to play with all the Kickstarter monsters. And so I just had to kind of go through the card deck and organize everything so that we can play a regular game. So I'll probably play that tomorrow night. I'm going to go out and if I find a beer store somewhere, I want to grab some mead. To make it more Viking-esque tomorrow. Maybe we'll eat a big ham, get some giant cheese wheels, something like that. Yeah, like it was a used version of the game, and he had all the Kickstarter stuff, and he had the organizer that lets you basically put everything from 4 boxes into one. They're great. I'm probably gonna get into 3D printing. One of my friends has got one. He's actually printing some terrain right now for me for Star Wars. He's printing it live. So I'll probably take you guys over there when I'm done. So you can watch it. But he's printing some terrain for me for Legion, but it's got me interested in probably getting a printer myself. Because when you start getting into all these board games, like a lot of them don't come with very good organizers in the boxes, and then as you add on expansions and things, now you're stuck with like 5 boxes or something for one board game. And there's a lot of 3D printed solutions out there for a lot of that, to be able to combine your expansions into one box and make fancier game pieces for your game. And as I'm getting more and more into board games, like I'm seeing like, okay, I'm going to be end up spending a lot of money to buy all these organizers and whatnot. I might as well just get a printer. and then I'll do all kinds of projects. I got this one game, Ethnos, that I really like, and it's like a card game, and with a board and everything, and I bought an organizer for that, but it's not. I mean, I wouldn't have got it because I'm thinking about 3D printing and would just print one, but this one is like made out of MDF instead of plastic for printing, and so it's like wood and has these carvings in it and everything. It just looked really really cool, way cooler than anything you could print with plastic that they make. So I did buy one organizer for that game, an MDF one, but man, it looks sick. It's got like raised wooden a raised wooden dragon carved on top of it, and yeah, I guess my eyes have been opened recently to just the world of board games. Like, there's so many great board games out there that you're not going to find them at like big box stores. They're just kind of a niche, I guess. But there's a lot of like specialty stores out there, like little small game stores where a lot of these games that I'm like Legion and Crisis Protocol that I'm painting, they sell minis there, but then they also have all kinds of board games too. And yeah, I encourage you to just go to one of those stores and look around and just be amazed at all the different board games that are there. Different than what you probably would see at Walmart. What was I going to say? Oh, really good site. Sorry, I'm off camera. Really good site called Board Game Geek. It's where other gamers they rate the games, and they give them a ranking, and then they're like a rating, like a 10 or 8, and it averages out like 8.5 or whatever. People rate them, and then they once they give them a rating, they're in a numbered ranking by top rated. So kind of where I've started diving in with board games is going and looking at that list on Board Game Geek, seeing what people rate stuff, and kind of looking at some of those top games, going in there and reading about them, and seeing the pictures, seeing what people say about them. And then if I'm somewhat interested, I'll go find a video about it. But I've kind of just been exploring that list of Board Game Geek top games, and then have made a big shopping list on Amazon to just sort of save the ones that I'm halfway interested in. And went ahead and bought Blood Rage because that was like my top one I was most interested in. And yeah, it can be, especially if you're going to buy these Kickstarter editions like I did. But I've got a good list of ones I'm interested in. Blood Rage, like I said, that was my top one. I got it. And then Scythe, I think I really, really want Scythe. I'm going to probably ask for that for Christmas. And that'll probably be it for a while. I've got a bunch of them saved, but I'm going to just kind of play those. Just got Ethnos, so I'll have Ethnos and Scythe and Blood Rage. And we should have a pretty good little collection there. I mean, but I had nothing. Like, prior to doing this, like, I had Cards Against Humanity, Trouble, and Candyland were the only board games that I owned. I went by my parents' house because we had so many board games growing up. Went by my parents' house, was gonna get some of those and add them to a collection here to start. And unfortunately, my mom had given them all away to a church church sale. I was like, oh, you're kidding me. And you know, they sit up there in the they sit up there. Yes, Candyland's still a good game. I'll take you on right now and defeat you. Don't mess with my blue gingerbread man. But it's like, you know, this stuff had sat there for probably 20 years and untouched. And in the moment I finally get interested in going and messing with these games, she had finally decided, you know, it's time to let them go. That's how it goes. All the stuff in the house, let's get rid of this. That's how we declutter, I guess. Get rid of Fambo's stuff. But yeah, I would have liked. I had like, well, see, it's all big box games, like stuff you've heard of. I didn't really have any of these niche, smaller company games, but I had like, I would have liked to have gotten Battleship and Guess Who probably out of that collection. Been my top two, and then who knows what else was in there. We had a bunch of games growing up. Get some Operation, you know. Let me get some Operation going. All right, Gordon. You just got a text from 3D Life Printed. I think we're like 94% done. Take you guys all over there when I'm done. Hoping I can get Gordon done this afternoon. Me pushing. I don't have a ton of time today, but I'm going to do the best I can. Being really quiet, trying to get around his shirt sleeve here without painting his skin. So meticulously painted all of his skin, I don't want to mess it up. Sneaking up here trying to paint his arm without painting his body. He's got a red necktie. We do not want to paint that brown. Sneaking that brush on up in there. Getting there. Good. Get a little peek at what we got going on. I only see one little spot where I'm going to have to hit on the officer where I got some brown paint. I'm not done yet, so it could get worse. But we're going to try not to screw it up. Get to that spot. One little fold on his jacket that I just cannot get the brush in there. It stands out too, like you can see it. There we go. Might get it from this angle. This is why I just wanted to go thick. Just not worry about thinning it down. Just working so close to this other model. I don't want to. Just want to get it covered. I don't want to have to go in here 3 times with thin coats and risk getting paint on the other model. It's just put a nice thick coat on. Get your coverage in one coat. And move on with your life. They Jim Gordon. Gordon. Ha 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 ha. The French pronunciation. Gordon. Little arm in there. This isn't so bad because you got to get in there and get that arm, but it's right up against his jacket. So if I do slip up, I'm going to be hitting. I see some dog hair. I do mess up and get the brush where it doesn't need to be. It's going to be something that's the right same color anyway. I think we got it. Commissioner Gordon. Go ahead and get around his other hand here and then get around his neck, and then I can switch back to my bigger brush, get this done a little faster. Excited to play this game again. I've played it maybe 5 or 6 times with unpainted miniatures. How dare I? um, so it's been cool to play with them painted up. Probably all I want to need to do with the. Oh, I gotta get around his head. I was like, yes, who would dare? How do you dare play a game with unpainted miniatures? Yeah, paint. Not enough, frankly. On my brush now, that'll help. So far, so good. Well, definitely not Spider-Man. This is a kind of a pain doing all these uh, black lines, but I'd say Iron Man was pretty easy. The way I did it, it was just I just used a gold metallic paint all over his whole body, and then just go over. I mean, there's very few parts of him that are gold, but do the whole thing in gold, and then just go over everything that should be red with a red paint, and leave the gold areas gold, and that was it. That was pretty much all there was to it. It was a little bit of stuff to do with some white and blue, like in his eyes and his chest thing and his hands, but yeah, it was gold metallic and then paint red in the parts that should be red, and it gave it a really cool look with um you could see like the metallic sheen shining through the red paint. Contrast paint, that's another thing to say, I guess, is red contrast paint that will let the bottom layer shine through. So it made the red look kind of metallic. That one was pretty easy to do. But all I've painted so far is the only ones I've painted from the core set so far are Spider-Man and Iron Man. Red Skull would probably be pretty simple as well, because it's just the whole model is black and then the head is red and that's it. Spider-Man may be one of the more difficult ones if you're gonna go and trace out all of the black lines of the web. I haven't done Captain America yet, but um, that shield of his might be a little challenging with trying to get all of those different colors without for the stripes without touching them to each other and getting the wrong colors on each other. One good thing about those models have got a lot of detail in them. Like there's a lot of like raised lines, raised edges, and grooved lines to sort of help you figure out where to paint different colors. They're really good miniatures overall. Come from painting Star Wars Legion, which is smaller scale, and it just didn't quite have the level of detail as the larger Crisis Protocol figures. To get this collar painted around his neck without painting his neck, or his shirt, which will be a different color as well. Still using my fine detail brush, but after I do this part, I will switch over to a larger brush and rock and roll. Mm-mm-mm. Try not to paint his neck. Doing the best I can. So far, so good. Actually, I'd be painting his hair. His neck's covered by the jacket. Not so for his hair, though. You don't have your hair under your jacket unless you're trying to rob a grocery store or something and you're hiding. But I wouldn't really expect the commissioner to be robbing grocery stores or anything for that matter. He's supposed to be the good guy. Oh no. It's the front of his chest and try not to get his neck. That's it. We know who the grocery store bandit is now. We figured it out. It's actually Commissioner Gordon. Kind of tough for him to do much robbing with this chick in his shadow always following him around. Maybe she's an accomplice though. Maybe it's two people robbing the grocery store. Commissioner.
The breakdown.
Yes, I do have one other fine detail to do with the inside of his jacket here. I am breaking a sweat doing this stuff. I got all these lights shining on me. Yep, no one would suspect this perfect team of grocery store bandits. Gosh, this is tough. Tough getting this brush in here without touching his face. It's a really small area.
That's good. That's good. Robbie, yeah.
That's as good as I'm going to get that. Around his neck and everything. One little piece around near his necktie that I want to use a small brush for.
Let's kick ass.
Yes, let's kick ace.
That's good. That's good. Oh, baby, that's good.
He's got a big jacket. He's got a lot of jacket surface area with the way it's clumped at the bottom and everything. Probably clean up that edge. Come on, Gordon, dance. Prepare yourself. You got a grocery store to rob. Prices have gotten so crazy, they're practically robbing us anyway. So you can bring us groceries.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Robbing. Yeah.
Get up there. Up. One more little side right here. I'm like ready to switch to my brush, my bigger brush, and knock this out. Yeah, I'm not really planning to do like highlights or. I did some highlights on Batman for his cape, but the rest of these minis I'm not really planning to do highlights on or shading. They're just gonna be kind of like they're just gonna be kind of like basic animation style, cartoony. So I'm not going for like a high level of shading and um picking out details because they're not super detailed in the cartoons. Hey, I wish he would. I mean, I could care less about the Joker, but I do care about my eggs and milk and bread that I have to buy every week. Like, bring us some justice, Batman. Bring us some justice at the grocery store because I feel like the bigger crime is at the grocery store. So he needs to do a little work investigating our pricing at the grocery store and making it easier for all of us to feed our families. To be somewhere near your voice was all I heard. Shaking from a storm in me. Haunted by the specters that we had to see. It's funny, a lot of times, you'll say, like, oh, here we go, Batman, or yeah, whatever, Batman, just kind of throw Batman in there as an expression or saying something, and sometimes I'll just say, yeah, here we go, Batman, gonna get you painted. And, but yeah, I actually was painting Batman the other day, so it was a fitting expression to make. Man, so many little spots where the jacket is bordering other surfaces, other edges. That brush into that corner. God, it just got brown paint all over the top of his gun. So that'll have to be fixed. Or Dawn. Back over your jacket there. Alright, I think I can do it. I think it's time to switch to our larger brush so that we can knock out some more surface area faster. Dog hair in the brush, let's get that out. Never good. It's the tough part about having animals. if you're into these things, is you're going to end up picking dog hairs out of your miniatures a lot. Never forget, I had a friend was over, had a son over here, and showing him my minis. He's like, "Oh, those are really cool." And the dog hair makes them look. It was like battle droids, separatist battle droids, and he's like, "Yeah, those are really cool." And the dog hair makes them look kind of realistic, pretty realistic too. Like it's frayed wires and battle damage everywhere. That was like the first thing he said about them, and then I looked at him and I was like, "Yeah, there's kind of dog hairs everywhere." The tough part about miniature wargaming when you have dogs and cats, they like to leave pieces of themselves into your artwork. Yeah, I have one picture on my Instagram of like I'm sitting here painting and the cat like just hop right in the middle of my painting table while I'm painting. I have to. I always like as soon as I get done painting, first thing I do is go empty my paint water. Do not leave a jar of water sitting open on this table, or it will very likely be spilled by a cat. And I've got my laptop sitting here for streaming. Water and laptops, last I checked, don't work too well together. Suddenly disappear and never, and they're not streaming. You guys know what happened. The cat attacked my laptop, spilled water on it. He likes to. I've got these like wire shelves right next to my painting table, like you see in like restaurant kitchens or whatever, where they store all the canned goods. These metal shelves, wire metal shelves. Anyway, he likes to climb on top of those and then jump down onto my paint table. His tail gets really big at night, and he starts getting really large eyes and darting all over the place when it's time to throw him outside. He's like an indoor-outdoor cat. But yeah, when he starts acting crazy like that, it's throw him outside. Let him go outside and kill mice instead of destroying stuff in the house. I'm happy with this. I haven't really gotten any brown paint on the office area. It's one little teeny tiny dot, but it's so light I probably don't even know that I'll touch it up. But um, I am done working around the police officer behind him, and looks like just about done with all the brown of his coat. Nick Gordon, we're getting close, my friend. Love to start like streaming some of these tabletop games and board games like when I play. Uh, it's just it's a lot of figuring out how to get the camera angles right and then the sound so you can actually hear us. And you got multiple people and one microphone. Um, I would love to get that going. Oh, so get a little bit of a spot on that shoulder there. I'm just trying to get in some of these gaps, like the model, the cuts. Trying to just drop paint in there, let it sit. Just a little edge on the front there. Up under the jacket, we're in the giant abyss of fat jacket. Like, they just said, screw it, we're not going to design legs. We're just going to make him have a big jacket and let his leg grow out of his jacket. What happens when he steals so many groceries? He just got a fat jacket from eating all the groceries. Okay. Spot. Alright, I think next I actually want to do his necktie. Hey, what up, Nate? Nate Dog. Yep, been watching that print and stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna do the red jacket, the red necktie first, next, because I'm gonna do a red black first, and then probably just go back over that with a brighter red to give it a little bit of a highlight. I may end up highlighting his jacket a little bit. I don't know. The Batman the animated series. It's like his cape and everything is black, but it almost looks blue a lot of the time. So it just kind of the way they do shadows and everything in that show. It gets a lot of this blue shading in his cape, and so I did decide to do blue highlights on Batman for that reason, and it came out really good. So I might do a little bit of highlighting on these other figures, but I don't want to go overboard. Like the officer, I don't really see much to do on her, but like Gordon's jacket has got a lot of creases in it, so I might do a little bit of highlighting on him. Well, let's get this neck tie done. Red black here, which coincidentally, when I painted Darth Maul, was kind of the starting color on his tattoos, I think. No, what am I thinking? That's not what I used it for. What did I use it for? Oh, I use red black a lot on like robots and things that have like little sensor eyes or lights on them. I'll use that first, and then come in with a brighter red over top of it. Give it a little more definition. Did the right thing on these models when I started on them. I just did the faces of all of them all in one night. Need to get this down. This is how I eyeball where to keep the mini, as I always try to target right in between their two faces, and it had kind of moved up. Trying to paint right there so that know that I'm in the camera. It's just garbage on the radio. Sorry, we gotta change this mess. What is this? Backstreet Boys. Yuck. Yuck. Alright, that's better. Much better. Gordon, don't mess it up. Tricky part is going to be painting his shirt and not getting it on his necktie or his jacket. Love how he decides to hold his gun like right up here in front of his chest so that you can't paint his necktie and stuff. But couldn't you have just been like holding your hand out, pointing a gun, making it easier for my painting? How you doing here? Not bad. His necktie is kind of like it's not straight. Like you know how a necktie you've got like the top tie is larger, and then there's like the under tie, the second layer of it, the that you're tying it together. There's like two pieces on top of each other. It's kind of like the tie is moving around, and like that lower layer is hanging out. So you got to paint both of them. Gordon necktie. Yeah, I don't know about that. They're they're okay in spurts, I guess. Very, very small spurts. Okay. Our necktie is painted, I think. Because I just discovered another surface of it that needed it. Oh yeah. Painting neckties on a Saturday. Okay, I'd say that's done with that part anyway. We're gonna do his shirt now. And then I will color I wanted to use for this. Leather for the Morn Fang for the jacket. leather, bring over the boots and belt. You can rile off Cliffs here for his shirt. I gotta do something on his pants. His pants are like almost like a tan, I guess. Look around at my paints here. It's got the sand. Let me look at the paints. Oh, that's really bright. Hmm. Look too. These are too close to each other to do a shirt and pants that or shirt and pants the same color. I don't know that I really have these colors. Right, which lid goes where? Huh. Figure this out. What colors to paint these things? Maybe I go Jedi Temple. I know what color Grievous mask is. Maybe a Jedi Temple with his shirt. Just kind of put a few of these in the and Brittany can be appreciated without words. You don't even have to have the music playing for Brittany. I mean, sorry. Yeah, you can just leave the video on. Not have to even watch it. You know what I'm saying? I think sand is probably way too much. So we're gonna go with Ryloth Cliffs for the pants. Jedi Temple for the. Yeah, I think that'll. A little Salakumai sand down too, and just look at it. Shake it up a little bit. This is Ryloth Cliffs. Salakumai sand. Talking about trying to do some khaki pants. I think it's actually gonna be. I think it's gonna be Salakumai. The Ryloth has got a little bit of a gray in it. Let's Salakumai up some pants, shall we? Detail brush first. Yeah, that's good. Put a little bit of the other one in there. See what it looks like anyway. Oh, crap. Look at that. It's not good. Let me go get. I gotta get out of here. Let me grab a. I gotta grab a tissue. I got water in there. Crises averted. Now that I'm looking at it, I think Ryloth is going to be more my color. Crises averted. I hate it when that happens. It's like you have like some water that's like when you stuck it in the stick it in your jar to clean it, and you get like some water like up here or something in your paintbrush, and you don't notice it, and then you tilt it upwards to start painting, and the water drips down your brush and gets all on the model, and it can be a disaster because then the water will carry the paint like all over your model. So luckily it didn't really do that. It didn't get on his nice brown coat that we just finished. Yeah, this is good. The other one was a little too, once I got it on here, a little too bright. Brush in there. Working right up against the nice brown jacket, trying not to get hand paint on our brown jacket. Doodad stuck in the paint there. See if we can get that off.
It's like 4 a.m. and I'm bored again. When that 40 in, when that dream team played out and they hit the bench, I just step back, let me soak it in. I seen the ups and downs, so I get it in. I was born to win. It's my time, no time, my turn. I can't lie, waiting for that one spot. My wall hope to get some.
I'm doing like most of this with my fine detail brush. There's so many edges that his pants are touching. Yeah, I thought that one color was going to be it until I put it right, got it on the model and had it putting it down right next to the brown jacket and seeing, a little bit more darkness to it. That kind of gray tone of the Ryloth cliffs look a little better than the Salakumai. Yeah, these paint colors are like, it's from my Star Wars Legion paint set, so they got kind of Star Wars themed names. Keep it mellow, folks. Paint and keep it mellow. May have to put a second coat of this down. It's kind of it's a paint that doesn't cover super well. So if you try to get it completely covered on the first go, it's going to be very, very clumpy. Wipe this brush down really well, so if I don't leak water droplets on it like I did earlier. Yeah, this is gonna be probably do a second coat of this. Force it too hard to cover, it gets all clumpy.
Just aim for us. We crave a different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee, and baby I'll rule.
God, getting that undercuff from his pants next to the shoes, that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to sneak this in here around the cop. I thought I was done. I thought there was no more danger to the officer in getting painted another color, but I was wrong. There's still some. Still gotta get his pants legs done. It's a janky looking leg. Kinda. I started painting it that one color and then switched to the other color and went right over top of it before it dried with the new color, so it's pretty yeah, pretty bad. My mistake. Beat.
We crave a different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee, and baby I'll rule. That fantasy.
Yep. Almost done with this pants. Got one leg to do here. But again, I'm probably gonna do definitely gonna do a second coat. This tan color just doesn't really cover super well. Cover the best we can in one coat, but come back on coat number 2. Several thin coats are a lot better than one thick coat. The pants legs are done from the first coat anyway. Give you a closer look. Now I gotta get his shirt. And then I'll come back and get do a second coat. Clean this brush really good so I don't drip water all over myself. bit longer I can do it. How long is it taking me? About 2 hours to get them done. Got some Jedi Temple here.
What do we play? Bit by bit, I realize
This piece right there. It's like,
that's when I need my love. My father's eye.
okay.
That's when I need.
Like I said, that was his shirt. I just saw one little spot that didn't have any paint. It's not quite a white shirt he's wearing. It's like a bit of an off-white, almost tan, but not tan like his pants. So I think this Jedi Temple paint will be pretty good. Oh, I just squeezed a ton of it out. Let's see, here's Jedi Temple, Salakumai Sand, and Ryloth Cliffs. They're kind of three different sort of tan colors, and this is what I did the pants here in Ryloth Cliffs. And then this Jedi Temple here used for his shirt. Turn my light back on so I can see. Looks good. Looking good. I did got kind of thin paint out of the bottle. It got a lot of liquid. Not to screw up that necktie. This collar here. Yeah, Gordon's probably of this little set. Like, Gordon's probably one of the more detailed ones, with having a face with glasses and a necktie, and the rest of them. I mean, Batman and Batgirl, they're wearing capes and cowls, and a lot of their face is kind of covered up, so you don't have all those features. But Gordon here, surprisingly, is probably about the most complicated of the models in this set. It's because he has a lot of different colors that are a lot of different edges you got to watch out for. So good. It's getting scary. It's like everywhere I look around his neck here, there's places that I could, if I stray too far off, it's just I could screw up a lot of different colors. Tell you what, I'm gonna want to play in Gordon as this game because he's got he's got more meticulous paintwork than any of the other ones. Like, I want to get him on the table, show him off. Screw Batman, I'm playing with Gordon. So tight in there. So yeah, that's pretty good. Work my way on down his shirt. Trying not to paint this nice red necktie. Cool. We'll have to touch up the necktie a little bit, but not too bad. I sing. That's just his Jedi temple that I'm painting him with right now. Sadakumai was what we painted his pants with. Alright, do a little bit of a highlight on his necktie now with just a lighter colored red. Almost done. Do that highlight and a little bit of highlighting on his jacket. Just he's got a lot of really large creases on it. Probably would make it look a little better. I could actually use a second coat right in there too. Yeah, but there's just a few spots that I'm going to give a second coat, really. I'm going to do this highlight. Coming now with just a little bit of a flat red. And I'm not even going to put it on the palette. It's such a small amount I'm going to use. I'm going to just kind of grab it out the top of the bottle. Wipe it down a little bit. So slight. So slight. I'm not even trying to really cover the whole surface area of the tie. It's just putting a little tiny little line in it. Nope. Started to go to my wet palette. That's where I'm used to grabbing paint from. Yeah, that makes that tie look a lot better. Look at it from the other side now. You kind of get it down the middle and then hit that one side and then go look at the other side. I want to get all of the surfaces having the same highlight. Cleaning up some things now, I guess. It's little spots here. Just touch up that necktie. See some. It could benefit from a little bit more brown on some spots. I think I might do that. Somewhere where I shouldn't. I've got brown there. I shouldn't have brown. We started the never-ending battle of touching up one color and then messing up something else while you do it. That's what happens when you're trying to fix things in close quarters. It's not hard to fix. Little small things like that. It's time. I'm just right now. I'm just touching spots up basically. And I may end up putting a second coat of brown on a few areas on his jacket that did not cover so hot. Nice big brown stain on his shirt collar. He was eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and spilled peanut butter everywhere. Fix though. Cool. Shirt collar is fixed on that side. Okay, then I wanted to put a second coat of Ryloth on his he's got this one line on his, it's like a mold line, like a where the model is cut. It goes right down his sleeve. It's just tough to trying to get paint in there. But let's put that second coat on his pants legs now. Switch to a larger brush. It's not really the edge that's the problem. It's just the getting it all over the. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, some of these lighter colors like this just don't cover super duper well, and you It's better to put a thin coat on and then come back and do a second coat, or it just gets really globby. Geez, maybe I should have stuck with my small brush. I've gotten tan all over some brown coat. Yeah, I'll probably give him a little bit of a highlight on some of these raised creases. He's got such large folds in this jacket. Might use like a gray and come in there and do some edge highlighting. Switch back to my small brush, do these little details. Commissioner Gordon. Let's see here. Whoops. Brush. Here it is. Stuck it to the side here. Where are we at? Gordon. Gordon. Just about finished with our second coat on his pants. And then I've got some brown parts that I need to fix because I just got a good bit of tan. You can see that dot right there. You can see it pretty good. Gotta go in there and fix that little dot that I hit. And then kind of see back in there in the back of his jacket, I got some stuff. So now it's brown touch-up time. What other touch-up to do with him? Like I've noticed, I missed a few areas of Officer Montoya. I noticed a few areas that I kind of missed with the tan color, like his fingers around that gun that he's holding. And dot right now. These spots that I gotta fix here. We're rolling, Gordon. We're rolling. Oh, back there on his jacket where I hit it. Tough painting around this jacket that's just like freaking everywhere. With this little crease that he's got in his arm. Cool. I'm going to go over just a really light second coat of brown on a few areas that it didn't quite settle in exactly how I would have liked it to. I just got to be careful the way I handle this thing when I still got to paint the base, and it'll be really easy to chip off some of this paint as I'm holding it to try to paint the base there. What I'm doing to my base is really simple in this game. I'll show you. Each figure has their, like in this game, each figure has their own colored dice. So I just paint each figure's base the color of their dice so it's easier to find them on the table to know which dice you roll for them. Gordon is these green dice right here, so I'll end up painting this whole base that he's standing on green. And I'm not messing with doing like borders around the bottoms, the edges of the bases. I'm just doing them all one color, keeping it really simple. We're doing the bases here. Which is very different than how I normally do bases. I usually do a lot of detail on my basing. It's just a fine detail if I'm going to go in there, but I'll finish the rest of the coat first. Hey girl, we got to change the song. I got to get rolling pretty soon. Got somewhere to be in a bit. Oh, sorry, I'm off camera. Um, get moving over here. At a good stopping point. I got to come back with this coat looks good now. I put two coats in some areas, but I've got to come back with some black and fix some stuff on his gun there that I got brown paint on. And I want to get some brown and do the shotgun, like put a little grip on the shotgun here. And then I got to get some tan and fix his skin. And yeah, he's just about done. I will do some highlights, but I'll do that when I do the touch-up stuff. So, take my Sun of Shades. Well, no, we'll talk to you guys in the Sun of Shades because I know they're very stunning. Do this number. Do this number. Stunning either way. Hey, you can see my light. Um, but yeah, I guess we're good for now. It's pretty much done. Do a little bit of highlight and touch up, and then paint the base, and then that's it. Next, we got old Robin here, who I've started on. I guess I'll show you that, but he'll be the next one to do. I've done his cape already, and his hair and boots. I've just got to do his body. Already done the little parts, the little emblem and everything, but got to do his body. It's going to take a little bit of experimenting to figure out what colors green to use on this body. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of blending to figure that out. But we're rolling. Like, I started this last Sunday, I think, and got 3 figures done already. You might as well call Gordon. Gordon's almost done. I mean, might as well say he's done, but not quite. Got to do his base, so he's not done. But I got 3 out of 5 done, and I'll finish Gordon tomorrow. Might paint some tomorrow afternoon. If anybody's around, feel free to come check me out. But probably finish Gordon tomorrow and start on Robin. So in about a week, I will have done this whole set of 5 minis and actually have a completed game. That'll be nice. That's the whole reason for wanting to go ahead and do these. I could knock a game out. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Might join you guys tomorrow afternoon for a bit. Thanks so much.